Down, down, down it goes. Down go the prices of the precious metals this week so far. Let's take a look at gold, silver, and platinum. This is your weekly technical analysis video brought to you by Ainsley Bullion and the Gold and Silver Standard. Use the time codes below to click to your favorite metal. We'll start with gold, then we'll do silver, then we'll do platinum. My name is Joe. You're looking at gold on the weekly time frame. It's priced in US dollars, 1,938.80 right now. We're using the TradingView.com website. Weekly time frame, pop on the indicators, and as you can clearly see here, we are heading down. It looks like a red week, probably more downwards action to come. Last week, video was entitled, "Are you buying the gold and silver dip?" If you're dollar cost averaging, then you're probably just, you're dollar cost averaging. You're averaging your cost over time. If you've been waiting for a dip, now's a not a bad little time. Of course, not financial advice, all that sort of stuff. Last week, we were at $1,963 roughly, and I was talking about 1960 being a line in the sand. We need to hold above that. Otherwise, we were going to see a very likely a retest of this downtrend line right here. That's coming, most definitely. So it doesn't always occur, but we've been speaking about this for the last few weeks. Once you break above a major downtrend line, or you break up outwards out of a major downtrend line, you have a break up, and then most of the time, not always, but a lot of the time I should say, you have a back test or a retest of that downtrend line. Definitely going to see, I think, not financial advice, but this area probably be support at around about 1,925. I would say down to about 1,920. And I say 1,920, even though it might just pierce this downtrend line, it might be possibly a wick down, but not a close below this downtrend line. You definitely want to close above the downtrend line, although we might wick below because of this previous high right here, but mainly also because it was a previous all-time high back in 2011 of that 1920 mark right there. So definitely a little key level of 1,920. You can see it there and all the way back there too. And also happens to coincide with the back test of this downtrend line. So that's what I need to see. Need to see it hold here. If we do close this coming week, if we do close below this downtrend line, then I would suggest that we're heading down into this purple box area. I'd say very likely you'd be coming down to the bottom of this purple box right here at 1,880 US dollars. Definite line in the sand for me, the next big one. If we close below in the next couple of weeks, if we close below 1,880, then we're heading down to this area right here of that sort of 1790 to 1810 area. Not there yet. We're just giving you the heads up about those bottom targets, but just want to see that act as support preferably. Again, we can wick below it, but I would be concerned if we close the week below that downtrend line. And of course, what happens if we do close above, and this just becomes a little back test, a little support test? Of course, then I'd want to see it head back up in the next couple of weeks, and I'd want to see it break and hold above the $2,000 psychological value, the top end of that purple box right there, and break up and then act as support, 2,000 act as support, and then I can very confidently say absolutely not a triple top. We're not going to see weeks and weeks and weeks and months of a downward movement. I'll just make mention of it here, but as you can see, it's definitely not forming as of yet, but just take this into account here. You've got a shoulder right here. You've got a head right here. And, if, for example, we came back down to the 1880 mark right here, roughly, and then we came back up to 1960, but 1960 acted as resistance, and then we head back down below this trend line again, and we close again below this trend line right here, then I would suggest a head and shoulders pattern may be playing out, and we really don't want that. Depends on your point of view. If you're looking to buy more on dips, then actually you wouldn't mind that happening, but it's a big head and shoulders pattern, so we would preferably want to avoid that, because then you'd be looking at quite a number of months of downward movement. So I really don't want to see that head and shoulders pattern play out preferably. So got to hold above here, and I've just talked about what I've talked about. So you can go back and check that out. And let's go straight to silver right here. Silver, similar kind of situation. We have opened the week red. We actually opened a little bit green, but it was a fake out. Yesterday it was a little bit of a fake out, so we are in the red at the moment. We are back down, and we did close below this downtrend line, and we're back in this symmetrical triangle pattern right here. Doesn't mean we're definitely heading back lower. I just want to see it hold, preferably above this $22 area. For me, that's the line in the sand. If we close the week or any of the next couple of weeks below 22 US dollars, I'm then concerned that we're heading back into this kind of territory right here. But for me, holding 22, definitely the line in the sand for me. And a similar thing to gold with the head and shoulders pattern. If you can see that, shoulder, head, and potential shoulder. Well, not even potential yet, but say, for example, if we came down to 22, we headed back up and we found resistance at around about $24.50, give or take, and then we came back down and broke back down through this downtrend line again. Once again, we closed below it. I would be getting concerned. But we're nowhere near there at the moment, just giving you my possible scenarios, the what ifs. So right there, want to see it definitely hold above 22 and preferably above 22.50 right there, and a nice little bounce up, and of course the resistance level of $24.50. If we break up above $24.50 and hold a support, then I would say third time would be a charm to break through the big 26 level. And can I tell you, the day that, or the week that we break above 26, we come up and then we hold 26 for at least a couple of weeks, that is going to be pure joy in my books, and I think in everyone here at Ainsley as well, because the 26 is that massive resistance level. We've talked about it a lot. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. 26 right here, massive levels of support for a very long time. Failed to hold above for a significant period of time. We want to see it hold above 26 for at least, I would say, 2 months to be safe. And then I'm going to say we are just in an absolute silver bull run for the next, I can't even say how long. Just out of interest, my top target, it's still valid for the moment, which is a topping out of the highest realistic price I could see silver going for 2023, because we're only in, end of May, start of June, is between 37 to 40 US dollars. I'm going to still keep that as my realistic target for silver for topping out at probably no higher than that for 2023. It's still at this stage still in play. Let's just see what happens with this symmetrical triangle pattern. Got to break out and hold above it, particularly above 26. That is silver. And lastly, we will do platinum. Once again, oh man, it's just giving me the nerves right here. Although unfortunately, it has broken down below this trend line, but we are still above the long-term trend line going back to February of 2008. You can see that right there again to all the newbies to the channel. If you're watching my analysis for the first time, got to hold above this downtrend line right there. It roughly coincides with the psychological value of $1,000. So if in the next couple of weeks, platinum, it's like gold and the other ones, it can certainly have a little wick below, but if it closes on the weekly below 1,000 US dollars, I would say we're heading back down to this area of between 960 to 940, and we're also playing up against this uptrend line right here. So you would see that level. You would see that as a level of support. So far, we're looking okay. We're in sort of slightly positive territory. I'm still positive on platinum on the longer term. It's just got to hold this rough area right here. Don't want to see it close below there. And of course, if we do break up in the next couple of weeks for some reason, we just keep going great guns. Your next significant level, I've had it drawn in at 1200, but I'm just going to pop it down a little bit lower. I don't know why I didn't have it there. Don't know why I have it 1200. Must be another reason. Must be from a previous. Oh, it's there. That's why. Okay, so somewhere between. And actually, what I can do is I can draw in a little box. So let me just undo that. And let me get my little rectangle right here. I'm going to say somewhere between, it's going to be a small little area, but I'll say somewhere between 1175 and 1200. You see that little box right there? That's going to be the next area of decent resistance. Once we do, hopefully, break up for platinum, somewhere between 1175 to 1200 would be your next major level of resistance. So that is gold, that is silver, and that is platinum. Short, sharp, and sweet. What I'd love you to do, please subscribe to the channel because of all the amazing stuff that we do. Of course, we're talking about the weekly technical analysis videos, the live show that we now do every single Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Today, I showed you my entire stack of gold. Yes, my entire stack of gold in that video. Watch that and click to the time code. You'll find it very, very quickly. Live every single Tuesday, we talk about a specific topic, and then we do some show and tell, and then we do some question and answers as well. Of course, our regular insights videos and everything else that we do on the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next week for the next technical analysis. Balance your wealth in an unbalanced world. Take care, and we'll see you next time.